Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. My name is Michael. We're coming at you with Strada Live on YouTube and Instagram. Thanks so much for joining us today. Got a lot to cover. Got some new updates, got some new announcements, got a new guest, got some new demos, and we've got some new information that we're just looking forward to sharing. I'm going to adjust my mic because I forgot to do that ahead of time, but will it make it in? There we go. Sounds maybe a little bit better. My name is Michael Cioni, and most important thing, I'm available to help people. When people need to sign up, they need to try it. They want to try Strada. They want to get involved. They want to get on the product. There's my email. It's out there. I'm easy to find, and we're here to help you get it onboarded. I also I have a great team here that's helping us as well. Peter, Austin, Shannon, Margot, they're all here to help so we can get this going. Now, I also have an iPad so I can answer your questions, and I can see that, Pete. And so I can see an iPad here. So if you have questions, write them in Instagram, write them in YouTube. I can get those questions and I can answer them live on this call. So we love getting that information from you. Please share your questions with us. You can talk about the product. You can ask questions about workflow. You can ask questions about some of the tools. You can ask questions about our roadmap. All of that is on the table. We want to serve you and answer those questions. Now, I want to start off with Adobe Max. For those of you that are Adobe fans, this is Adobe Max week. It's a super exciting week for Adobe Max. And a lot of people have asked us, is Strada going to be at Adobe Max? No, we're not. Now, why is Strada not going to be at Adobe Max? Well, I'll tell you why. We actually signed up for Adobe Max. We signed a contract. We actually bought an actual booth and reserved a booth space. And then we got an email from Adobe that said, we're no longer invited to Adobe Max, that we're not allowed to attend. Even though we had a contract and we had a booth, we had plans, and we started spending money on the event itself, we started getting emails and we were uninvited to the Adobe Max experience. And so what does that mean? Well, first, it means we feel bad. Like, that hurt. Like, we don't exactly know what we did wrong. And we wrote half a dozen emails trying to get some foggy responses, but we're not really sure. And so we kind of feel really bad because if we understood more about what was wrong with the situation, we would have probably changed something. But we're not invited to Adobe Max, and we're not exactly sure why. We have some theories, though, because some of the information that came back to us was foggy, but we tried to make some assumptions. The second thing is, it makes me, the last time I checked, Adobe did not make a product that can do peer-to-peer transfers. Strada does two things today. We do peer-to-peer transferring, which Adobe doesn't make, and we do file virtualization from people's hard drives, which Adobe doesn't make. And so what's really important for us to explain is that we are not going to be defending a closed ecosystem. If Adobe's plan is, and they feel like they need to defend a closed ecosystem, then that's okay. But I want you to know that's not going to be Strada's approach. That's why we built Mac and Windows and iOS and Android. And some companies like Adobe don't actually build products, the same products or all their products across all of the ecosystems out there. And by the way, Linux is really important to us, and that will be accomplished in our roadmap. So for us, we're not here to defend a closed ecosystem. And if that's a way Adobe feels, maybe that's why they don't want us there. And that kind of hurts, but we don't look at it that way. And then the third thing I would say is, when it comes to the future, we always want to be inclusive. If someday there is a Strada Max, I want Adobe to know you're invited. We would love to have Adobe at Strada Max. I think confidence comes from being integrated and having interoperability and inviting people, and not from excluding people. And so, Adobe, you're invited. It's on record now to Strada Max someday in the future. We won't kick you out after you sign a contract. So look, we are here to support all the people that are out there, and interoperability is key to our mission. And look, we support all the NLEs out there. We support all the workflows. I guess what I hope is that Adobe isn't losing touch with workflow, because everyone that does workflow, if you know workflow, you know that you can't do it with one system. Adobe can't Adobe can't provide the entire set of software required to do workflow. You need all sorts of different products in order to do that. And Strada is just one product that we want to put in the workflow. So if you really want to work with Adobe, that's great. If you want to work with Final Cut and Resolve and Avid, that's great too. For Adobe customers, we want to support you. If you want to pay for an overpriced NLE that has bad color science and bad mixing and crashes, that's fine with us. That's okay. But if you want to use that, or you want to use, the other ones like Resolve or Final Cut or Avid, or even new ones like Sequence, those are totally cool. We support all that. We want to be really interoperable with everybody. And as you see what we're doing in our roadmap next year, when you see what we're doing in our roadmap next year, you're going to love it. And Premiere users, you're going to love it. And Adobe, you're going to love what Strada's doing. We love you, Adobe. We're thankful to be in the world with you. And hopefully maybe next year you'll change your rules and you allow companies like Strada to attend Adobe Max, because we'd love to be there. But if not, you're invited to Strada Max. So that's what I wanted to say about Adobe Max. So if you're looking for us, you're not going to find us there. Now, here's the good news about Strada. 2 weeks ago, we released a new update for roles and permissions. This is really exciting, and we're going to show a demonstration of this today, but you can actually now go through all these different roles. These are all different roles that you can assign. Now, this is available on the unlimited plan. If you're on the free plan or the basic plan, you get 2 of these roles. You actually get 3 of them. You get owner, and edit and download. But with the unlimited plan, you get to also control, can they just view it, and can they have admin access? So there's really cool features inside of that. So when it comes to permissions and security, that's really important to us. We're giving you tons of permissions and securities. And remember, when you use these roles and permissions, they're assignable at the individual folder level. So you can assign these to any folder, and you can give different people the same privileges, or you can give the same people different privileges depending on the folder. It's really powerful and really cool. Okay, so we actually have a new announcement with an update today. Later today, hopefully today, certainly within the next 24 hours, we are delivering a new update to our mobile for iOS and Android. And this is really exciting because the mobile update is awesome. And we released the mobile experience of Strada about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. And in 3 weeks, we got a bunch of feedback from you, and we are making some big updates. Here are the updates. The first one is full screen. We didn't have full screen in the current version. Now, I want to be clear. You can go to the App Store and the Google Play Store right now and download the app. This is the version that came out about 3 weeks ago. Sometime in the next 24 hours, you will get the new update, and you're going to get these new 4 updates. So here are the 4 updates coming out later today. Full screen. So when you rotate the phone, you can see it in full screen. Swiping between assets, which is awesome because you can switch between assets really quickly. And it's really elegant, and you can do that. Pinch and zoom on stills. So when you want to zoom into a still, you can pinch and zoom and get that right. And then download progress. So remember, Strada Mobile can connect to your Strada agent on any computer that's in your Strada network. So if I'm connected to a computer 1,000 miles away, I can see the files on my phone and I can download them. Download works today, but it's pretty slow and there is no progress. The speed in which we're going to have to pull these files over LTE and 5G is going to be slow, but we want to show you the progress of that so you just know how long it's going to take. And that's something that comes out in this new version. So again, this is coming out within the next 24 hours. You can install the current version of the app on iOS and Android today. And very soon you'll be able to see the new version coming out. We submitted it and it's coming out very, very shortly. So this will be great updates for that. And then we want you to use the product, give us feedback, try the product, and get us more feedback so that we can get more features captured and we know what to build next. As you know, we do these live every Tuesday because we want feedback from users. We're on Instagram and YouTube all the time. We're on LinkedIn all the time, and we want the feedback from users. We have a Discord. Pete, you could put the Discord in the chat right now. You could join our Discord. The communication from our users is what makes Strada special. It what makes us great, and it ensures that the product's being built correctly, and we don't go off on some tangent and build the product wrong. So it's really important that we do that. So you have to be an active participant for that to work. So we need you to write to us and give us insight. At the end of the day, this is what we're really proud of. We have a great ecosystem. We are new, we are young, we are a startup. We are honest about that. But even as young and early as we are, we have built a product that exists on Apple, Windows, iOS, and Android. And that ecosystem is something we're super proud of. And I just want to give props to the engineers here who are able to increase our surface area and support such a wide array of users. In fact, we were talking to a user this week that has, she is basically equal Mac and Windows, and she has Apple and Android all at the same time, and she switches between them. That's the ecosystem that I'm afraid Adobe's missing. It takes a lot of platforms, a lot of products to do workflow. And if you're in touch with workflow like I am, then you realize it's important to support everything and not try to get people into one exclusive lane. And so that's really important to us. So we are really proud of this ecosystem, and we encourage you to install an agent, sign up for Strada. It's free. Get it on whatever platform you use your computers, whatever platform you use for mobile, and start sharing your media and accessing your media today. There was a guy yesterday that said, it's too good to be true. It's something like that on Instagram. And I said, I'm telling you, sign up, and in 2 minutes, you could be on your phone and see a drive anywhere in the world. It's that easy. I would love for that. If that person's on right now, I'll invite you to a drive right now. If you think this is too good to be true, send your email to Pete. I'll invite you to a drive, and you'll be able to access a file thousands of miles from wherever you are. It works. It's really great. Okay. I want to get a little bit into iPhone 17. You might see an iPhone 17 next to me here. And the iPhone 17, a lot of people are Apple haters. That's fine. And a lot of people think that there's no, that incremental updates in technology, phone to phone, are not worth it. But that's silly. Like, tech innovation is often incremental. Not every innovation in the world is a huge step change. That's just impossible. That's just not how things work. And so what I look for are notable incremental step changes in technology. And in the iPhone 17, they've made great improvements. In fact, Apple partnered with Blackmagic to build a dock that actually makes this work really well. And if you've watched Strada YouTube videos, you know that we are pushing iPhone as far as almost anybody. I mean, we've put anamorphic lenses on here. We've done 240 frames per second shots. We've done everything from time code to wireless video. I mean, we've really pushed it. Even dynamic range tests. There's all sorts of YouTube videos that show us pushing the iPhone really far. But I want to highlight this right here today. ProRes RAW. Look, when people say a phone is not a camera and it's not professional and it shouldn't be used, it doesn't make any sense to even say that anymore. Because what is a camera? A camera that can shoot 4K at 14 stops in a RAW format. What else? That's it. That's what a camera is. Now, if you want better lenses, fine. That's fine. But this system records ProRes RAW in 4K at 14 stops to an external SSD. And now it includes two other things that I want to show you. I want to show you three of the hardest things that are really hard to use with phone that Apple and Blackmagic have solved. So check this out. This is the Blackmagic Pro Dock. You've got the Pro Dock here, and you've got the ability to power it. You've got the ability to get 3 USB connections, HDMI, and the BNC there is not SDI. I'm sure they'll build an SDI version someday and charge a couple $100 more, which I'll be happy to pay, by the way. But today it's HDMI. The BNC is for Genlock or timecode, and I want to show you that. But there's there's 3 things that are really tough with getting things to a iPhone camera. Shooting RAW files is hard, but Blackmagic solved that with video. Getting timecode to a camera so that your separate audio is linked or your different cameras are linked, that's hard. Blackmagic has solved that. And getting audio into it, all without having to run out of all these problems. All of this is now solved with the Blackmagic Pro Dock, and I love that. So here's another look at the Pro Dock. And if you look at the top, you can see there's 3 USB ports. And so what I'm using on mine is a USB for sound and the drive. Those are the two that I'm using it for. Then I've got video over HDMI, and I'm running this power off of a battery. And it's going to be hard to show you, but we're running a battery. And then I've got the SSD working. So I want to look at this a little bit closer here. So this is going to be a little tricky here. So am I switching the HDMI to you or to this? Or
if you want to show the dock first,
we'll do the dock first. Okay. So if I turn this way, you can kind of see right here a couple of things. You can see that we've got the SSD. I got an SSD on top, but I've got my USBs here. And you can see here is the time code port and audio. Now, I'm not going to run audio in here. I've got a different way of doing this, and I want to show you a better way of doing this. But you can kind of see I got everything here. And then on the very, very top, you can't really see this. Maybe we'll go back, Shannon, to the main front camera here. But on the top, I've got the SSD here. So the SSD is up here on top. Now, I want to show you a couple of things. So this is my Envoy. This is an OWC Envoy that can capture ProRes RAW without dropping any frames, no problem. And it's bus powered, so it's just going USB into the dock. Very, very easy. But I want to show you the two other things I've got going here. And I'm going to show you something no one's ever showed you with an iPhone. This is a ambient locket box. So if we take a look at this, if you've seen the ambient locket box, this is a great device that has wireless time code. You see this little here? This is the wireless antenna, and it does wireless time code. So I've got a wireless time code here, and every time I press a little green button, it will transmit the time code automatically. On the other end of this LEMO cable, I have a BNC. This is a BNC cable, which allows me to convert the copper from the time code to BNC, which is how it works in the Blackmagic dock. So we'll get to that in a second. The other thing I've got going is audio. This is a little Rode Pro. This is the wireless Pro mic, and I've got this, but I've also got the receiver. So when I tap here, I've got that there. So wireless Pro, these are great from Rode. Everybody loves them. They're awesome. You can plug a lav mic into it, and it's great. But on this end, I can go in USB, so I can get the high bit rate. I think is it 64 bit? It's definitely 24 bit audio. I can't remember if they go up to 64. It's really, really good. So I've got audio going into USB. So what I want to show is how these are going to work together. So Shannon, should I switch the HDMI?
Yeah, we'll do this.
Okay. So we're going to turn this way. And now I'm going to give you access to seeing my camera, my Blackmagic app here. So here it is. Okay. And just so we see, there's Shannon right there. Shannon's making this all work right here. There's my red camera shooting close-ups on my 18 mil macro. And then here's my setup right here. I'm going to go to the 100 mil lens, and I want to start with time code. This is so cool. Okay. So remember, the slate right here is actually my ambient time code slate. So the ambient locket box is sending signal to the ambient slate. So that's the time of the locket box. But if you look at the top of the iPhone, the time code doesn't match. It says 9:18:55, but the slate says 9:17:55. So they're off. But that's because I haven't jammed it. So what I'm going to do is go into settings, and I'm going to go into time code, and I'm going to switch the time code to the Blackmagic Pro dock because it knows it's connected to the Pro dock. Then if I go to the camera and I plug in the time code right here, let's see what happens. I'm plugging it in right now, and now it should switch. Let's see if it's going to work here. Is that the time code? Oh, that's Genlock. Sorry, I plugged it in the wrong port. There I am. Trying to do this backwards. Here we go. And I plug it into time code there. And look at that. It switches now 9:18, 38, 39, 40. So that quickly, and just with a little bit of Velcro, I've now got time code jammed to my slate. So we've got that solved. And then if we go back to our menu and we look at audio, we could see the audio source can be switched from iPhone microphone to the Wireless Pro. Because it's connected over USB, the Wireless Pro is able to be seen. And now my audio, if I tap this quietly, we can see the audio is reacting, right? Check. 1, 2, 3. So this is the audio microphone coming through. So I've got my audio solved. I got my time code solved. And then what about our recording? Well, if I go down to our recording, I can go down to media. Whoops. If I go down to, sorry, that's my bad, media, we can see save clips too. And if I go to my files menu, I can see here the OWC Envoy. By selecting the Envoy, now we're connected to the Envoy, which is the OWC SSD, and that means we can record 4K ProRes RAW. ProRes RAW, people, I mean, people say, look, let me just put it this way. Apple doesn't put ProRes RAW in a phone without a plan, okay? So I've been talking for years that Apple's working their way towards more professional cinema. And people say, an iPhone is not a cinema camera. Well, I would say that it in most parts, it is not necessarily a cinema camera. Parts of it are. Certainly parts of it are not. But Apple's working their way towards something big. That's my theory. And I think this is how they're sneaking up on it. Anyway, we've now got ProRes RAW. So I've enabled ProRes RAW to the Envoy. I've got timecode and I've got audio all running together. So if I do a test where I now record the image, so I'm recording it for a few seconds, there's a picture of the timecode. So we'll be able to check the timecode jamming between the RAW and the clip. And if I go to my record settings, we should see, I forgot to tell you, there's ProRes RAW. So you can capture ProRes RAW onto the camera right there. Now, if I want to tilt up here, I'm going to go up to this right here. This is my chip chart. And by the way, yes, this is a 100mm lens. Here's my 24. So you can see my setup there. Here's my 13mm. So you can see everything here. And then my 100mm. And I can touch for autofocus. The 100mm on the iPhone 17, unbelievable under good light. I mean, I don't know how that looks to you. It looks great. It looks incredible. So if I record a take right now, I'm recording this take of the chip chart. And then if I go to my, maybe I shoot a little shot of my DXL right here. I might have to bump up the ISO a little bit. So we'll do that a hair. Oh, maybe I locked it. I don't know. There we go. So I'll record a picture of the DXL right there, which is the camera shooting here. And then I will get a nice medium shot here of everything. And I'll try to make it look less nuclear by going back down to 400. And we'll record that. So now I've recorded, I think, 4 clips here, right? And now that I've done those, I'm going to go back to my computer here and we're going to take a look at them because, like, what did we just do? So I'm just going to pull the cable from the Envoy and plug it in to my laptop. So if I go to my laptop here, the Envoy is going to mount and there it is. So here's the Envoy. And if we look in here, we can see our proxy files. So here are the proxy files. These are log proxy files. And then here are the raw files. These are ProRes RAW. So if I open this up and hit Apple I, you can see here ProRes RAW, right? 800 megabits per second. There it is. Okay. So what do we do here? Well, first thing I'm going to do, because this is Strada, is I want to enable my Pro Envoy to be available in Strada so that when we bring our guest on, I can share media directly with that guest. So here we are in Strada. But now I want to grab these raw files and I'm going to go into Final Cut. And I want to show you a couple things here. First, I'm going to bring in the raw files. Here they are. And I'm going to start by going to the inspector here. And if you look, I have modify ProRes RAW settings. So in Final Cut, I can set these settings however I want. And I can look at the files in different settings. And because I can control things like white balance, I control the ISO. You can see the response in RAW. I can adjust the ISO because it's a raw file. So I have that option available. And I could do that globally across the files here. So this is our ability to modify the time code. So if I go to timecode source, let's see what happens here. And look at here. This is reading the timecode from the metadata. The 32-bit. Thank you for the note. Rode audio is 32-bit. So we're getting 32-bit audio over USB-C on the Rode. Thank you for that, Pete. But look at this. Here I've got the file now playing back, and you can see the actual clip itself matches the slate. That's timecode jamming. I'm using ambient. I'm connecting ambient to the Blackmagic Camera Pro dock, and then that goes USB into the camera using the Blackmagic Camera app. And now I have that easy. I can see my timecode is perfect. So if I go to any of these clips, I only have the one clip where I shot the slate, but you can see 36:19, 38:22, 35:11. Now that might be a frame off at the very beginning, but there you go. So that is how good this is. Now what I could do is I could bring in the proxy files. Now look at the size of the proxy file. The video file here, the first one is 600 megabytes. The equivalent proxy is 1 megabyte. So I can bring these files in here, and I can set these however I want. So I'm going to set these to no LUT. So I'm looking at them in log. And if I were to grab a LUT here, I have a custom LUT. In fact, I have built a custom LUT that comes from the DXL camera. If you want that, email my brother Pete, and we will send you, because I built a light iron color Apple log LUT. Actually, my friend Ian made it for me. So if we do that and paste that across all these, we could paste those across right there. And then I just need to modify the raw file here. And we're able to get this to look right. Let's see here. I have to do this, and I have to do Apolog 2. There we go. And so now I'm able to adjust these to sort of match each other. So I've got proxy files and I've got raw files as well. So that is the power of the raw workflow with our Apple log here. So if I put this in Apple log, now I can apply the LUT. I think I applied the LUT here. So yeah, so here is without the LUT and with the LUT. So there you can see it. So now I've got my result there. That's my camera file. There's my chip chart right there. And so if we look at the chip chart, whoop, I got to go there. There we go. If we look at the chip chart, it looks beautiful. And there it is in ProRes RAW. And so that's a ProRes RAW color corrected chip chart. There you can see with and without the LUT. And I've got time code to actually match. So this is really cool. We did jamming. We did audio sound, which you record on or off board. We did ProRes RAW to an Envoy, and I actually shared it in Strada, which is really cool. And we'll come to that in a second. Andrew Waldman on YouTube says, how can we remove that step of having to remove the cable from the phone and connecting it to a computer so Strada can see the files directly from the phone? Well, what you're asking there, Andrew, is to turn the phone into an agent. So you would want uploading from the phone into Strada. And Andrew, we're building that. I can tell you that is a goal of ours that is on the list, and it's not far away. So Andrew, I need you to keep asking for it. And if other people want to upload from the phone directly to a drive, not to a cloud, to a drive, send the files from the camera, from the phone, directly over LTE or 5G to an editor's drive. That's what we want. So I need to hear from you if you want that too. It sounds like Andrew wants it. So if other people want that, that is a transfer. Remember, today with the Strada mobile app, you can download to the phone from an editor's drive. But what we want to also do is upload to the editor's drive from the phone. So I love Andrew for you doing that. Thank you. Seth says, have you guys seen the new commercial for iPhone Pro? They're courting the cinema market for sure. 100%. In fact, I saw a Beast Grip, which is our favorite rig, on the World Series commercial with Apple. So I know Vadim, who makes Beast Cage, makes the best stuff. And they actually got some really good visual press on the World Series. So that's pretty cool. So these are all things that are happening in the iOS experience, and we love it. And we use the phone. Shannon over here, remember Shannon, she's here. We use the phone every single day for something. It's so practical. And now ProRes RAW with an OWC Envoy is just making it really easy to shoot. The jamming with the ambient locket box, I've just got it Velcroed right here. The ambient locket is a great investment. It costs more than the Tentacle. We bought the Tentacle. We tried the Tentacle. You've tried it. It's clunky. It fails, right? It's got all these hiccups. But with the ambient going into the Pro Dock with Blackmagic, you're going to save so many headaches and time, and it'll always work. It'll always work. And if you get the ambient slate, you're golden. And now with the Pro Dock, there is no reason you shouldn't be shooting with this configuration. Blackmagic Pro Dock, ambient timecode locket box, ambient slate, OWC Envoy for storage, iPhone 17 with the Blackmagic camera. That combo is amazing. And then if you throw the little Rode mic in there, you might as well. These are powerful. They work with lavalier add-ons, so you can add a little cable, and then you're good to go. I want to also advertise, we're using a Condor Blue little cold shoe here. This is kind of a mini lock, and the mini lock allows you to take the phone on and off the device just like that. So it screws directly into the Pro Dock. In fact, Shannon, is it possible to go to this still or no? Yeah. If we look at this, this is cool. I just want to show you one more little trick, and then we're going to get to Clyde. You're coming up, Clyde. This is the Condor Blue mini lock. There it is. So you can see the mini lock right here. It's tiny, but there it is. And if we slide this in, it just goes right in like that and locks in. So that's our little way of doing that. So now there's a little lock on the back that I can release and insert this out, and then I can put it back in and then lock it back down. So the mini lock is a really nice way to do that. Really simple, really easy. You got all the stuff there. So that is the way to do a great iPhone. I could clean this up a bit. That certainly needs a little cleaning. Oh, by the way, all of this is running off of a battery, and I do want to take it off just so I'll just bring it up to the big camera here, Shannon. But all this is running off of a 12 volt to D-tap here. So this is what do I have here? I got just a nano gold mount here, and in this is a D-tap adapter, and that D-tap is connected to the 12 volt DC power. So we're running this all off of a battery. This will run for hours, and 2 or 3 of these is going to get you through the day. And we're talking powering the camera, the drive, the time code, and the audio. All that is being powered off this. And if you had a Teradek, it would eat up more batteries if you ran a wireless video out of the HDMI. But you could do that, and then you'd have wireless video out of the HDMI. All that's possible. All that works. All that's great. Really cool. Okay, so now we want to get back to the next step here. We want to invite our friend Clyde Bessey to join us and actually join us for a little bit of a demonstration. Now, Clyde is someone that I have known for the better part of a decade. He's amazing. He used to work at the Red Camera Company, and so he knows digital cinema from when it was really early. But Clyde is a creative director at a company called Origin Point, and he and his team make amazing, amazing stories. They're great storytellers, and they're super high-end as well. So if you're looking to hire storytellers, Origin Point is someone you should really look to collaborate with. Absolutely. They're incredible. But also Clyde, as an individual, is an incredible camera op, incredible DP. And because he's like 7'6", he's able to get shots that no human can. I call him the human jib. He's amazing at what he can get, but he knows how to get verite. In fact, one of Clyde's best attributes is, even though he's enormous with his rig, he is invisible on set. You barely notice him. He's just like this, always doing the best BTS. If you ever watch behind the scenes videos that I did with Frame.io, all that shop. Do you think?
I'm not sure. Hey, are you hearing him? Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna keep talking while Shannon troubleshoots here. If I'm live, I'm gonna keep talking. So Clyde is just an incredible resource. So I want to switch over, Clyde. We are so happy to have you, Clyde.
Let's pause.
Oh, I'm told to pause.
I don't think we can hear you. We can't.
Hold on, Clyde. I think everything just fell apart. So
yeah, I can.
He's, I don't know. He's seeing what you're seeing there.
Can you hear him, Clyde? Can you hear him? No. Okay. I mean, Google Chrome wants me to force quit.
Well, then do it.
Okay. We're just gonna lose live on everything.
Well, is it? Are we out? Are we off?
We're technically still live.
But
Okay, I'm gonna force quit. We're gonna have to
okay.
restart.
Okay. Sorry, Clyde.
Okay, what are you seeing on Instagram?
I'm just seeing the background.
Okay, give it a few seconds. It might come back up. Okay, what about Instagram? Okay, great.
All right, I think we're back, folks. So sorry for that little hiccup. Clyde, thank you for joining us today, Clyde. We really appreciate it. We're going to get into a demo here, but Clyde, would you just tell us a little bit about you and Origin Point before we get into the Strada demo part?
Yeah, of course. Are you able to hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Amazing. Yes. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for the kind introduction, Michael. Like he mentioned, I'm the founder and creative director here at Origin Point. We're a boutique production house specializing in branded documentary and commercial content. Like he said, we started out working as the internal production team at Red. We helped create their internal marketing content, the Red BTSs, the Red Collectives. And it was really just the best experience getting to follow some of these top filmmakers around the world, learn how they do what they do and what makes them so passionate about it. And that journey through Red really influenced a lot of the style that we work with today, high resolution, high quality cinematography combined with really impactful storytelling. So it's our goal here at Origin Point to try to make a positive impact with our work. If we can, we try to be the origin points of change. You know, as cheesy as it is, we want our work to be infused with meaning and try to actually have a purpose when we put it out there and the intention of what we do.
Cheese is welcome. Cheesiness is welcome. That's all good with us. Yeah, that's all good. So, but we also know you really care about workflow, and Clyde has been an incredible resource and really an anchor for us in being an early adopter of Strada and giving us feedback. And that's why I want to start, Clyde, with I'm going to go into my Strada account first. So hopefully everyone can see my Strada account here. And if we look at my laptop here, we see the Envoy that was available here. And I can go into the proxy files and I can start to see images that were captured. Oh, these proxy files should be there. There are some of the files playing back here. And so what I want to do is it Clyde at Origin Point?
Yep. .io.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I'm going to start by inviting Clyde to the actual proxy files of the actual footage that we just shared. So Clyde, if you share your screen, we could take a look at your screen now. And then we should be able to see the files that I just shared with Clyde available with him. Now, Clyde is not in the next room. He is down the way. Are you able to share your screen?
Yeah. Moment.
Did I do that right, Pete?
Okay. So here's my desktop. I have not seen.
I might have spelled your name wrong. So maybe refresh one more time in your inbox. And you should get it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get it, just go to Strada. Pete, am I doing it wrong? I'm sure I'm getting it right here. So why don't you go to Strada and refresh and then roll down the Mr. Cioni button. And there is the proxy file. So there they are shared with Clyde right now. So those are the files we just shot. Now, the reason they don't have a thumbnail, I'm not really sure about that. We're going to have to look into that. But there is the file that we just shot a second ago. And this is playing off of the Envoy. So when Andrew, you were asking earlier, yes, you have to pull the Envoy or your hard drive out of the phone and plug it into a computer. But this quickly, Clyde, if you were to, transfer those files, right, this is going to be so fast. It's going to be crazy. If he transfers those files here, he's going to grab those files and move them to his computer, and it's going to move them really quickly because they're actually really small files. So I'm sure they're done by now. So you could probably even close the caret there, Clyde. And what's cool on my computer is if we look here, we're going to see a transfer from Mr. Cioni to M3 Ultra. That's Clyde's computer. So we can actually see the files are wherever that drive is. So if you want to go to your Finder, Clyde, and access the files, they should be local on your machine, I think. There they are.
Oh, yeah, they've already downloaded right here.
Yeah. So this is another really powerful part of the workflow is that the proxies are so small that you could transfer these over an LTE hotspot. They're really small. Now I know these are short clips and your clips are going to be several minutes, maybe even 5 or 10 minutes long. But a proxy file from the ProRes in the phone is so small that you could transfer those no problem. And if you couldn't transfer them, you could actually see them either way, so you could access them. Now, Clyde, I'm going to invite you to, I want to try something a little different now. So if you refresh your browser, you're going to see under Mr. Cioni a new folder which says OWC, and there's a folder, there's a file inside of the OWC Envoy in the top right. You'll see that, yep, and you see a whiskey. Now, this is fun. One, this is 24 gigabytes, so this is a file that's really big. And two, Clyde, this is footage that you shot. And so once this comes up, if you could pull the little mute button down on the right, there you go. This is I know it's our muting is just it's like a game and you only lose. You have to click it twice for no reason. Okay, there you go. But here is Clyde's footage, and now Clyde is playing back a 24 gigabyte file from my computer, from that same Envoy, directly to his laptop there. So if he can't transfer the file or doesn't need to transfer it, he can watch it. And if you hit the 1x and you hit the little L key, 2x and 4x, yeah, you can play it back at higher speed. So this all becomes part of the workflow. And I mean, it should feel pretty fluid to you, does it?
Oh, yeah, it feels great. This is awesome. This is the frictionless workflow that we're looking for.
Nice. Now, what's interesting is if you look in the upper right, it says, I'm sorry, it's kind of in the center of the screen. In the center of the screen, it says view only. Clyde, I only gave you permission to view. So if you tried to right click on whiskey, it would say there's no menu that pops up because you can only view. So when you're sharing with clients or any collaborator that you only want to view the asset, you have the ability to now gate that to view only, which prohibits download. That's one of the benefits of the unlimited plan. And you're experiencing that right here versus the previous folder I sent to you. When you right clicked on those assets, you did have access to download. So you can see it says download access at the top of that menu. So that's how you can take advantage of this in a client situation.
Absolutely, yeah. It's important to be able to have that kind of control, especially on all these different client projects. You don't want to be able to give access to everyone. You want to be able to narrow it down to who gets to download and who needs to view. That's crucial.
That's great. Now, Clyde, I would like you to share something with me so that we can see a download versus a view. So I'd like you to first start with a really big file and only give me view access to that file. So tell me about this project.
We recently did a project in collaboration with Insta360 that was really exciting. It was about the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb. I'm going to go ahead and share this with your email.
Okay.
And what makes this story so special is that it was about a paraplegic race car driver.
Oh, wow.
He doesn't have the use of his legs or even full use of his arms. And he's out there racing with regular racers out there to the top of the mountain.
Oh,
And
before you
what I
invite,
think of
set me as a viewer only, just a viewer.
viewer only.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
So he's racing with everybody else, huh? That's crazy.
He's racing with everybody else. He's shifting gears through a straw in his mouth. So it's actually by controlling his breath and remaining calm is how he can shift gears and go fast. And it's really just an incredible story if you get a chance to watch it.
I love it. I love it. That is the origin point for sure. So here, Clyde, you can see here that quickly. We did not do this until just now. He shared with me this Lance Menderson here. This is 14 gigabytes, and now I can play this back, and I can go full screen, and I've got a 4K H.265, or no, what is this? A ProRes probably? It's probably ProRes, I guess.
It's ProRes, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm playing back ProRes. Now, it might be a little stuttery for you guys that are watching this through a Zoom reshare, but for me, it's smooth. I'm able to see this beautiful cinematography as usual, and we see the story of this race car driver. Pretty awesome stuff. Wow, great footage here. Does look like a good story. Good stuff here, Clyde. I like the edit.
Thank you, thank you.
Very cool. Where was this?
This was out in Colorado. It's the highest race. They actually time trials up to the top of the mountain.
Oh,
if you
right.
run that stuff, you'll fly off the edge of the mountain.
Right,
It's
Pikes
really an
Peak.
intense race. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Pikes Peak. Oh, unbelievable. Okay. So very, very cool. Very good stuff. So Clyde shared with me these files, which I can view only. Now, Clyde, I'd like you to give me access to a file that I can download. Yeah, so let's see if we can show the difference here.
Absolutely. Okay. So I'll go ahead and share this proxies folder here as an example.
Okay. Well, I'm already shared to that one, so that's good. That one you already shared with me.
Oh, you already have this one?
Yeah. So if you go to the editor, you can go back to the plus button there. And if you were to change the editor, see, this is where Clyde can even change the permissions after he's given permission. So if you need to adjust that. So if you gave me editor permission, that means I can move the files themselves. Download means I can just download. Editor means I could push them to someone else's computer. So I have access to that. Also coming with editor pretty soon, Clyde, is the ability to add folders. You can make a folder, create it on a destination somewhere else.
Love that. That's going to be a huge time saver. That's one of the things I think of when I get in here. I want to have that little extra step. It's great to know that you're thinking about that.
Yeah. So here I can see now on my screen, here are the B camera proxies that he's generated. And now I'm able to play these files back. And I remember like 6 months ago, or maybe not even that long, 3 months ago, there's Tyler. I remember a few months ago, these files didn't play back because of an audio config. If I'm right about that, so we're always trying to support audio configurations and video codecs. A lot of times, audio configurations that are unique end up breaking our technology, and we have to support that. So it's funny, like you'll be like, oh, this clip doesn't play. It's actually not the video, it's the audio. And so we're working on that. Sometimes I think our engineer Dave will just mute audio if the audio is not supported, so you can at least see the video. But we're always working. If you ever run into a clip that doesn't play video or audio, let us know. We want a copy of that clip to reference and see if we can support it. There's so many configurations in the world that it is, it's a nightmare. So we just have to do them all one by one. If we're missing any, people can make some really unique configurations if we want to get that right. So I'm playing back these files, and if I wanted, to grab one of them, or I needed it for some reason, I could grab this take. I could say transfer, and I could just transfer to my desktop if I wanted to. And now I hit transfer, and now it's going to start a transfer experience, and it's going to start putting it. And this file right here is the file that's coming down from Clyde, and it's a transfer from Clyde's hard drive directly to mine. And you can see the transfer is happening right here. I'm getting that file coming to me, and in about 5 more seconds, it'll be done. We'll pull this away, and there it is. And now I have the file locally. So this is peer-to-peer transferring. We just moved one of his takes, and if I open that up and we look at it, we can see this is, in fact, a ProRes file with 32-bit audio embedded. So this is the file at 100 megabits per second. So this is an example where Clyde and I viewed files that were really big. We zip files that were really were far apart from each other. And then we did view only, then we did transfers and downloads, and we were able to change those permissions. So this is really, really good. I really appreciate, Clyde. As we let you go, Clyde, just tell us where you see Strada in your workflow in the future.
Oh my gosh. I mean, you mentioned everything that we just did, Michael. What jumps out to me is what we didn't do. What we didn't have to do was upload all of these files through the internet up to a cloud, pay for that storage, and then send it to someone else to have to download. It's coming straight cloud to cloud from my drive to your drive. So where do I see it fitting in so many ways? Anytime footage needs to be shared. We want our footage to be accessible anywhere we're at, anytime. We want it to be fast, and we want it to be flexible. And tools like this, tools like Strada would allow that to be possible. So for me, this is going to play a big role in our workflow as far as how we get things to and from our clients and doing it efficiently and saving ourselves time and money. So thank you, Michael, for creating this and letting filmmakers like us use this.
Well, we thank you because you're an early adopter, and that means you take the most pain. But we appreciate you powering through that, always testing, always working through the restarts and the refreshes. We thank you, Clyde. We thank our other early adopters. Thanks so much for joining us today, Clyde. This was fun, and it's always fun to do trapeze without a net, where we try things and we're never sure if they're going to work, but that's all what it's about. So thank you, Clyde.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Of course.
As we finish up here, folks, I just wanted to touch on the pricing of this. Gabriel asked, what do you think about the Tilta Chronos rig? Oh, so Gabriel's asking about the actual rig. We actually had the Tilta Chronos rig. It's good. It's actually a good rig. There's a lot of value in that. But what I like about the Blackmagic port dock is that it has more interfaces. And so I really like that. But it doesn't have that fan and things like that. You might need a fan to cool the phone. And the Tilta rig works for that. So good question, Gabriel. Sorry I missed that earlier. Okay, so pricing, there is a free plan. Today, there's no excuse. Everyone should sign up for Strada for free at strada.tech. You can go to strada.tech, you can sign up, and you start for free. For free, you can try the product, you can invite people, you can connect unlimited drives, you can share it with unlimited people. And when you're on the free plan, you can transfer up to 15 gigabytes for free. That's a free transfer on us to connect that peer-to-peer, no cloud required. If you go to the basic plan for $12 a month, you can transfer 250 gigs. But remember, you can connect unlimited drives, you can invite unlimited people, you can view unlimited assets across these plans. You can watch everything. So it's great for review, great for access, and it works on your phone. The phone app is free. And then if you want to go up to unlimited for $30, you get the permissions, which allows you to have the permissions for view only and admins. You get all 5 levels of permissions: owner, admin, editor, download, viewer. So you get all those permission layers, and you still have unlimited view, unlimited drives, but you could do unlimited transfers. You could do a dozen terabytes. If you had to transfer 5 terabytes, you can do that with Strada. And in a product like Massive, you would be charging over $100 per terabyte transfer. I was talking to a colorist last week who said he was talking to a client. They had to move a 500 gig file. They said it was cheaper for them to ship a drive than to use a cloud transfer service. That's terrible. That's sad. We have solved that problem. You can transfer terabytes of media through Strada, unlimited. And so that's what you can do with the $30 a month. And you can mix these plans together. So if you want to have unlimited send to a free plan, you can do that. You can transfer to a review plan. And if you want to do unlimited to basic, you can do that, or basic to unlimited, or basic to free. You can do that. Whoever has the plan decides how much you're allowed to transfer and whether or not you have the permissions. So if you're on the unlimited plan and you invite a free plan, the permissions apply. And so you can make a free user view only, for example, and prevent download access. So that's all the cool stuff. So this is the pricing of the product. We want to invite you to join the Discord. So we have a link to our Discord channel. We can put you there. Please reach out to our Discord channel. Please let us know what we can do. We want your feedback. We want your help. And we want to be able to always connect with you online. And so that's where we give announcements. That's where we give feedback. That's where we capture feedback. We can do support in there and bug fixes and things like that. So it's really exciting. So, and then lastly, we have a link where you can schedule one-on-one demo. If you need onboarding yourself or other colleagues, or you want to refer us to someone for a one-on-one demo, we do one-on-one demos every single day. We love doing them. They're really fun. And we get to know you. We get to know your workflow. We get to capture your feedback one-on-one. We're happy to do that. So please feel free to reach out to us. There's no excuse not to try this product. There's literally no excuse to try this product. It's free and it is really, really effective in workflows. And where we're taking it is awesome. I can't wait to show you what we have planned. By our goal is our next major update is December 1st. So we're really excited about that. But if you're following us, every 2 or 3 weeks, we release something. Sometimes every week we release something. And so stick with us. Like you can see the pattern of updates. When I met some of you at Cinegear, we didn't have Android or Windows. We didn't have that. But your feedback pushed us to do that. Now we have Android and Windows. 2 months ago, we didn't have any mobile. We were at IBC in mid-September. That's only 6 weeks ago. We just started doing mobile. And now we're doing an update to mobile. We didn't have permissions 2 weeks ago. Now we have permissions. And we are building more and more feedback. We're going to eliminate the refreshes. Remember, I'm asking Clyde to refresh? That's going away. Those things are getting fixed. And we've got incredible plans for 2026. And you want to get in now because early adopters get the best rewards. You get the pricing as cheap as it's ever going to be right now, which is awesome. And you get early access to everything. So we appreciate you doing that. So thank you for signing up. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for being with us. Thanks for dealing with our technical difficulties. We are here. We're online. We hope to see you online as well. Have a great week, everybody.